Good afternoon, you guys. I just wanted to stop in and share my thoughts on something. I haven't. I think it's been a little while since I made a video. I know I squeezed one in. There are a couple that I may or may not want to do. I want to do them, but things happen so fast, you guys. It's almost old news, but it's still relevant, and not necessarily personal. There are things that I just want to share with you guys. I know I watched two videos yesterday, and one person, Sister Courage Dearheart, she just reiterated that some of us feel like things are happening so fast, that it's almost old news within hours. She didn't say that, but this is what I took away from that. Things are really happening fast and speeding up, and that was her point. Also, I think I saw Bonnie LuTube. She made a little. I forgot that I was even sub to her until I saw her last couple videos. But her last video was just talking about how she just didn't want to make videos for the sake of making videos, and being fake and this and that. She truly wants to be led, and I truly understand that. For me, I've done not only dreams, but I've done teachings or explanations or whatever the Lord led me to do. Okay, I'm not a teacher. Sherry Rich channel, she has that gifting. Okay, I just say, and I believe that I am in the what's the word? I do believe I have the gift of prophecy, and that doesn't necessarily always mean that it does. It does mean that you will see things, or I have that gift, but it does mean that you will see things and hear things, and so whether it be dream or this or that. I have more dreams, and I definitely had more open visions several years ago than I do now. But you're simply a mouthpiece for what God says, and it doesn't matter what He says or what He would have you to share. You simply share it. So a lot of times, I really try to stick with what I'm feeling led to say. Just because all of our flesh can get in the way. There's a lot of things I want to talk about all the time, but I'm not a complainer. I don't really. It's not really too much that bothers me. I think I've said that before, but this world is bothering me. Okay, which takes me to what I want to say. During the time that I was not on, you guys, I know Bonnie mentioned the fact that she hadn't been on for a while. And she's like, I just don't want people to think I fell off, or, I'm getting into, I lost my way, or I'm not, whatever. And I understand that while I was off of YouTube, I was busy, but I had more personal dreams during that time, a year and a half, 2 years. The Lord was showing me people around me, and the Lord was also sending those people to me. And they came in the form of associates, or associates that were already there. He was just showing me how to navigate my relationships with them, and also how to minister to them. Okay? That was probably really the first time that things got really personal for me. And I don't just to be dreaming about people. So when I be dreaming about people, it's like, okay, the Lord's saying something. Okay? Everything, my church, just, it just was, he showed me a lot of things. He's concerned about even the littlest things. You'd be surprised. Or maybe or you just don't, believe that he is. Okay, so my time was not wasted. I was actually kind of consumed with trying to juggle my stuff and Myra's stuff and my mom, trying to be there for her as much as I could during that last year. Maybe I had a deep down knowing that this would be her last time, just knowing her personality, that she wouldn't reveal that to us because she was a solid person like that, you guys, and she was a Christian. She don't want nobody hooping and hollering over her. But I just thought it was funny that at that time, when my mom passed, and I spent a couple of weeks helping my stepfather because she had asked me to help him out because she wouldn't be here all the time. We just didn't know how fast she would be gone, but I honored her wishes and I did that and kind of helped supervise things, the removal of stuff, things in my mom's house because my stepfather moved. He went to go move with his mother after the passing of my mother. And then literally the day after, I had all these things happen in my household. Everything was, piping and plumbing and appliances and this and that. I mean, literally, I had two things in one day, and over a course of five days, I had like six big issues with plumbing and toilet and faucet and underneath the sink. And then after all that was kind of figured out and things started to be repaired, I mean, the maintenance man was here every day, okay? And he came Tuesday for the last time because he was going out of town. It's still not done, but he's 95% done. My washing machine gave out and it started leaking. So I got a new one. Then the guy who brought it, he was really nice. It didn't work, so I had to come back and get it and this and that. But I just want to say this, and I want to end the video, that the enemy is so stupid, okay? He's not creative. There's nothing new under the sun. He's not original. As diabolical as he might think he is, this is all new to me. This happened to me twice in my old place. Okay, same thing. Everything as far as appliance or plumbing wise, not all, but it was, it all went to poop in a matter of a week. And it happened, and plus on the outside, as opposed to it being my washing machine, like it was here. It was my car AC. So it was my refrigerator, it was my toilet, it was my washing machine, then it was my car AC went out. All this went out within, I want to say, in a matter of 8-10 days, okay? And then something to the same effect, not as bad, happened afterwards. So if had I not gone through that, and I was a relatively, I was learning back then. I was learning patience. I was learning not to worry. I was learning, God's got this. He answers prayers. But sometimes you just have to deal with those things, even though God's already worked it out. But had I not been through that experience, this would be a surprise. After all that I just went through with, losing my mom and helping my stepfather. But I just said all that to say that the devil has no new tricks. And even though it's kind of taking up my time, but it's not. It's actually, there's always a lesson. So, I've been consumed with everybody else's stuff for all this time, even Myra's, for this attack, if you will, spiritual warfare, to come on at this time. It's making me focus on sitting down and reading more and focusing more on my stuff and not being, pitting others' matters before mine. That's it. And then the devil's so stupid, you don't want to do that, because then when I have time, if I'm not trying to fix things, I'll sit down and read and meditate and spend time with God. That's not what he wants. So you guys hang in there tight. This word says, we know that the whole creation has been groaning as in the pains of childbirth right up to the present time. I don't really like that. Well, I like that version, but it's not the King James version. But you know what it means. We know that the whole creation has been groaning The whole creation has been groaning, as in the pains of childbirth, right up until this present time, until the present time. Not only so, but we ourselves who have the first fruits of the Spirit groan inwardly as we wait eagerly for our adoption as sons, the redemption of our bodies. So, yes, things are happening fast. I've seen so many dreams of not only my own but others happen so fast, and God didn't make a mistake. I'm going to say this and I'm going to end this. When God gave us these dreams, like for example, I posted Seven's audible that she heard, I think 2 years ago, perhaps it was last year. I think it was last year, but perhaps it was 2 years ago. Rosh Hashanah, but she heard it sounding like Russia and China. Days before that, Russian China ships were spotted off of Alaska, and I think they had just made the reports on Rosh Hashanah, the 27th, this September. And she felt it so eagerly in her spirit. I have shared her audible on my community wall. And it just seems like it was just not too long ago. A lot of these dreams and a lot of these things, you see other people commenting on other people's postings that, hey, I remember this, I remember that. Because we forget, y'all. We tend to forget what God has done for us, how he's brought us through, how he's kept us, our blessings. Sometimes we forget. My hand is raised. Okay, but we bring those things back into remembrance, and we also bring the fact that he warned us back into remembrance. But we get so tied up with just living our daily lives that sometimes we forget about the spiritual things, what he said, what he's showing us, his word. But that's just life, you know. We're human. We're spiritual beings living in an earthly world. We're foreigners. We're trying to learn how to operate and walk daily and still keep our attention on God. But he showed us these things. Some of us, it felt like, oh, this is going to happen next week. But he showed us, I'm thinking in hindsight, he showed us on a few things that he showed me. I was like, man, with all that already happened since he showed me this, I was so busy with this and that. His timing is so perfect. Because you just go on about your life, but when those things come back, it's like, wow, he showed us this, 2 years ago, 6 months ago, 3 months ago. And he does it, he knows what he's doing it for. It's one of those things that I just find awesome, and I'll never be able to explain. But God is awesome and just everything. His timing is perfect. His ability to show us, his wanting to show us, his graciousness, telling us, warning us beforehand. Okay? He doesn't want us to suffer us, and he wants us to be our eyes wide open, just like to the fact that the devil ain't got no new tricks. So stupid. Everything is fine here, you guys. I actually went to Lowe's, and I don't really like to spend money on new stuff. But this time I did. I've had a new washer. I've had an old washer and an old dryer since I moved here. I bought a lot of things like used. I just wasn't about to. I just don't really care for none of this stuff. I don't even really like the washer I got. Okay, I like the old school stuff. Okay, and I don't like to spend money unnecessarily. But I ended up having to get a new washer. All is good. God is good. Hopefully I'll come back and make some other videos and focus on the things that I wanted to do while the devil tried to entangle me and take up my time over the last week or so. I love you guys. You guys stay encouraged. Jesus is coming now. Okay? I really do believe that soon. I don't believe, let me just not say he's coming. Okay? He's coming. We can all feel it.